Hey everyone, Skeptic Talk here. Some people from the Bible Thumping Wignut show showed up at the Reason Rally 2016, which is great, by the way. I'm here right now, so I'm hoping I'm going to get a chance to talk to them, see what's going on. Hey, hi. I'm very curious about your shirt. Okay, so you're from the Bible Thumping Wignut.
I'm not actually with them. I mean, this is their church. I got at a rally
Okay.
last night.
So I know a person who went to my private Christian school. His name was Colin Pearson, and he's one of the big Psi 10 Brukenkate people. But I must ask, my man, why is an omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent being, allegedly omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent being, having you do his PR work for him? That seems to me to be very silly. That an all-powerful being is using like human intermediaries to communicate with people. If it wanted to communicate with people, it can do so effectively and so powerfully that it would never need to have people or books communicate on its behalf. I'm curious about this.
I don't know why God chooses that way. And I don't know if there's a straight answer to that, but he chooses to use us that way, and I feel honored and blessed to be able to do that.
Okay.
He has his reasons. Maybe he wants to test our faith. Maybe the true faith is those who can come out and witness to him.
Why would he do that with eternity hanging in the balance? If it's the kind of God,
You have to ask God.
but if it's the kind of God that is very, very concerned about people not only believing in him but having correct beliefs about him, as some of the epistles imply, where Paul goes off on people for having incorrect theology, then why would it leave it up to question? Why would it use methods that are so easy to mistranslate at best and sabotage or intentionally alter at worst?
Back on Scripture, he uses the foolish things of earth to confound the wise.
But how do you tell the difference between an invisible, inaudible, intangible being that's acting in mysterious ways and using strange methods that seem foolish? How do you tell the difference between that kind of God and a God that doesn't exist? Because to a lot of us here, those things are indistinguishable from each other.
Again, I don't know why God chooses that. I just know he's right. And he uses me and people who are here to do that.
Yeah.
His ways are above our ways.
Okay.
So you're asking a question that really no one can answer. So you're trying to put me in a trap that there's really no trap because I can't say how God thinks and why he does it.
But
I think
You look at the word of God, he says,
okay.
he in a sense, we're all here and we're being tested. We come to faith through him because it's so hard. That's a sign of true faith, right? I mean, true love is not necessarily you get shown everything or given everything. You don't love someone because you saw it, you realize there's no reason. The love of somebody comes to somebody who isn't sure. But they did. But loves them because they have the belief. John wasn't this person is real. This is true.
You don't
Isn't that a better love?
I disagree. I mean, I have people in my life who I love completely, and they don't feel the need to test me or check and see if I really love them or not. Yeah, but I would hold an omnipotent, omniscient, allegedly omnibenevolent being to a higher standard than, the typical flawed human beings that I meet who are wonderful people. But the God of the Bible, as portrayed in the Bible, doesn't behave like a loving being, doesn't behave like a being that's worthy of worship. If such a being existed, there would be perfect justification for not only not obeying it, but actively opposing it. Because it would be a monster, not a loving creator.
But he is a loving God. I mean, he sent Christ down and himself came down in Christ to pay for our sins.
But
how much more love is that to die for death on the cross?
To prevent us from suffering a punishment that he created. It's infinite punishment for finite crimes that basically is at the core of Christianity. And I'm personally believe that Christianity is an imaginary cure for a made-up disease that it inflicts on people itself, which is the saying that, you are broken, fallen, sinful because of the actions of the first human beings who ate magic fruit that they weren't supposed to be eating. And then Christianity comes in and says, oh, but we have a cure for you. It's Jesus and believing by faith. It's flawed. It is flawed, fundamentally.
If you look through the scripture back even into Genesis, you see that this involvement Christ has been laying all this up to the final hour.
Well, the Jews don't believe that, and neither do the Muslims.
They do believe in Savior. They just don't believe in Christ. Some Jews still do. Messianic Jews believe.
Okay, Messianic Jews do.
You're right. But other Jews, Orthodox, and so forth, don't. Because they, for their reason. I mean, again, you mentioned we're fallen.
But
we have a sinful nature.
how do you distinguish between why does Yahweh get special credibility as far as all the gods that have been worshipped in human history? And usually, I just saw a sign over there that says because the answer was never magic, it always turned out to be nature. And I went to the Museum of the American Indian yesterday, right across over there by the Smithsonian, and I heard people talking about Wankantankan, the god of a lot of the Plains Indians, the Great Mystery or the Great Spirit, and they were utterly convinced that he created them. You and I don't believe that. They're utterly convinced. Why is Yahweh more credible than the other deities?
Because for me, the proof would be in the evidence of the prophecies that were fulfilled. One, the fact that the disciples all died for lies.
Well,
I don't buy
that to me is confirmation bias, because there are things in the Bible that, when you hold them up and really look at them, don't make sense. And the apostle things, those are legends. There are people, I mean, C.S. Lewis makes the argument Jesus was either liar, lunatic, or Lord. But the problem is he forgets something. He said Jesus could be a legend. Maybe there was a historical basis for Jesus, but how do we know that those myths or those legends weren't altered and changed over time? We can even point to people who were alive within recent memory, who have legends and myths that have generated around them that are probably not true. George Washington probably never chopped down a cherry tree and never told a lie. So,
It's my friend Hillary.
aye.
But again, I would go back to the prophecies that were fulfilled that were predicted 800 years prior, like being born in Bethlehem, being pierced for our transgressions. We have the Dead Sea Scrolls to back up things like Isaiah was a real book, and these things would happen. And I believe that the technical gospels are accurate because if they were not accurate, why wouldn't they have been refuted by the people living at that time when they came out?
Well, we don't know. Maybe they were, but because Christianity became eventually a dominant religion.
I think if that were the case, it would have been squashed there.
Yeah,
Like
but
you guys would squash it here.
these are arguments that can be made for most religions, that because if you make the argument that because they survived, because they endured, because they weren't squashed and completely wiped from history, that they must be true. There are religions that are much older than Christianity that you and I don't believe in, but many, many people do. And they faced persecution. They're still around. Does that make them true?
Christianity is just really a continuation, I guess, a second part, so to speak, to the Old Testament. Now it's the age of the church, so we call it Christianity.
This is for my YouTube channel, by the way. Yeah. So anyway,
I'm not the most articulate guy.
Yeah.
I'm just I'm a sinner, but I go on what I think is evidence.
okay.
You go on what you think is evidence.
It was nice talking to you. I'm Steven.
Pleasure, sir.
Your name?
I'm Randy.
Randy. Nice to meet you.
Pennsylvania.
Hi. Nice to meet you. Both of you have a good day.